Hi, I'm Kamal Imani, and I want you to enjoy my visual guide on how to survive love's emotional roller coaster ride. Are you ready? Let's talk about sex, money, and communication. All right, let's go. How to survive the emotional roller coaster ride. How to survive love's emotional roller coaster ride. Now, first of all, it might sound any kind of way to you, but I'm going to keep everything 100. First of all, you need faith. If you were going to an amusement park and getting on the best roller coaster, right, you're going to be nervous. You're going to be scared, but you know it's going to be fun. You know it's going to be exciting. See, there's ups and downs on a roller coaster. There's twists and turns, right? Things get rackety, right? And sometimes you got to keep the faith. What do I mean? You got to hold on, right? And you don't know if that thing's going to go off the track, if you're going to fall out, right? You don't know if somebody's going to throw up. You don't know if somebody's soda going to come out and hit you. You don't know if you're going to come out dizzy, if you're going to come out having to go to the bathroom. You're going to be nervous before you even get on there. But you got to keep the faith, right? And you got to hold on while you're on there. Now, some people throw their hands up, all right? They got a lot of faith. But some people just hold on, all right? So this is for the people that hold on, but every once in a while they learn that they can throw their hands up and just surrender and go with the flow. Because Bruce Lee said, be like water. Go with the flow. Okay? Now, where will we start? We're going to start with communication. People like to start with sex. People like to start with money. But we're going to start with communication. Because the three things that will make you or break you are communication, sex, and money. And we can deal with everything else outside of that and within that. But it's communication, sex, and money. And people like to fast forward to the sex. Now, if that's what you want to do, be my guest. But if you want your relationship to be right, then you will start with communication. And that's what this whole thing is about. Okay? Getting your relationship right. Now, I know you don't want the solutions because you can't handle the truth, but the truth means that you have to be responsible. The truth means that you have to have self-discipline if you want this to go right. And that means you got to get up off your behind and lift yourself up from the lower self and activate more on the higher self. So what am I saying? You have to be truthful with your mate. When you're truthful with your mate, 100% transparent, then you could both work on a vibration that is higher, that is pure, that is honest, that is truthful. That's what you want when you really want a relationship. Now, if you really don't want a relationship, a good, nice one, turn this off and go and still do what you got to do in the playground of children because you're not ready to grow up. You just want to play with people. And this ain't about playing with people. This is about doing what the Creator wants us to do. And it still can make you happy. And you still can be creative. And you still can have fun. But you're just going to lay down the law. And the law is just the truth. It's nobody else's law. It's just being honest. Just like homeboys with your boys. You know what I'm saying? My dogs. And the ladies with their girls. Right? They just keep it real and be truthful. Anybody that you stay friends with for a long time or family with for a long time, they kept it a buck. They were truthful. And that's all we're talking about. keeping it real, raw, and honest. Now, here's something else that you need to know. You have to know each other's backgrounds. That's why you have to communicate. You got to know, was he in jail? And what does that mean? Did he heal from his experience in jail? You know, is he a cop or was he a cop? What does that mean? Can he turn it off when he comes home? Right? Can he turn off just dealing with the boss all day? Does he have a methodology, spirituality to deal with that? Is he a mama's boy? Was his father in his life? Does he know how to fix things? Because you might expect him to fix things, but he don't know how to fix things. And now you're running your mouth, and he's running back, and here we go. Right? Everything's going to collapse. You got to know if he knows how to clean, if she knows how to clean, if she knows how to cook, if he knows how to cook. All these things will come into play after you jump the broom, after the ceremony, after the honeymoon is over. All right? Because a lot of women, they want the wedding more than they want the marriage. So they got these Disney dreams, these Hollywood dreams of the wedding, even if it costs $80,000 or more. They want to be Miss It for the day, right? But when that wedding is over, you might come to realize, some people, that you could have invested some of that money. And you could have had that money for the roller coaster ride, for the emergencies that are going to come, the emergencies that are going to happen, for your emergency fund, for your investments, for your royalty checks and your passive income, right? So we'll talk about money as well. But all of these things come out of communication. You know, you got to communicate about sex. How do you want it? How do you not want it? How does she want it? How does he want it? How much do you want it? Right? And then a lot of men don't realize that she's going through her cycle. And if she's pregnant, she might feel some kind of way. Right? And there's only certain things she may want to do or may not want to do. And that's a 9-month stretch of him not having it the way he's used to. And then when the baby comes, then that's a whole nother situation. Things gonna change around here. Right? And then she got to realize that the man has some kind of cycle in the development of his sperm.
Do you think that people were meant to be monogamous, or do you think that our culture kind of conditioned us that way?
I think it has a lot to do with culture. I think, I really think that most men are polygamous, nature. Mm-hmm. But I do also believe in self-discipline, self-control. And that's if you say you're the only one for me, then you cut yourself out of that option of being polygamous. And you're a grown person, so you should be able to stay to your word again, your word, mm-hmm. and your commitment. And the same with a woman. But I don't think that most women are polygamous, but I think there's a great deal that have a strong sexual libido. And I think a lot of people are curious, and a lot of temptation comes. But I'm not a woman, so I don't know. Mm-hmm. But as a man, I feel men are polygamous. From men I know, and from me, because like you have a cycle, we have a cycle of mm-hmm. sperm development.
So I'm really not aware of that. I didn't know about that, the sperm cycle of a man. So certain times of the year, do you get more heightened as far as sexually?
Well, I would say it's more monthly.
Oh, really?
It might even be quicker than that.
Right.
When the sperm builds up and a release is needed. Mm-hmm. And if that release isn't met, a man will do almost anything. And that's why we don't want to get too deep, but right. I'll say men will do many different things to get that release. And development of his sperm. And a buildup. And when he gets a buildup, he wants to release. Now, I don't know. That might be 30 days. That might be 2 months. That might be 2 weeks. But when he's ready, he gonna look for Betty. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't racking steady, you know what I'm saying? So y'all have to discuss these things. But what happens is too many people spread them open too soon. And that's men and women. Y'all don't even know who you're jumping in bed with. And you're jumping in bed, and then oopsies happen, and then feelings get involved, and then you find out somebody had a baby daddy and a baby mama and a side piece and all of this kind of stuff. You knew nothing about this person. Now you're upset. Now there's a problem from the door. Is this what you want for yourself? Thinking you're using someone else, but you're really hurting yourself. If you don't want a clean, honest life, like I said, this ain't for you. This is for people that want a clean, honest, happy life. And you're only going to be happy if you're honest with each other, if you're truthful with each other. Like my wife and I, we keep it transparent. My phone is open. I have no password. Her phone is open, no password. She uses my phone, whatever phone is close by, we pick it up. She knows bank account numbers from me. She knows. Don't go trying to get her because I find you. She knows everything. I don't care. Why? Because I ain't doing nothing. Go through my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you want. I ain't doing nothing. I'm good. Why? I'm happy with her. Why am I happy with her? Now, this is a key. Your why. Just like they say in sales. What is your why? What is your reason that you're looking for someone? It's usually to fill a void in your life, and it's natural that you find someone to compliment you. Now, my why is that my mother was a single mother with 3 children from 3 baby daddies, non-committal men who sometimes had money, sometimes didn't. And when they didn't, my mother would sometimes faint, sometimes have nervous breakdowns. And then I look on TV and see shows back in the day like My 3 Sons and The Brady Bunch and later on The Cosby Show. And I'm saying these people got a man, a woman, and a child. They got a father in the house, right? I didn't have a father in my house. I said one day I want to grow up and be a father. Being that I made it without a father and it wasn't easy, I wanted to be a father and I wanted to be a husband to a beautiful woman. And that's what I believe God gave me. All right? What was in my mind, the desire of my heart. Going through trials and tribulations to meet her, the woman who knew exactly what she wanted. So when I met her, I had to realize, and I still always remind myself, that this is what I asked God for, and this is what He gave me. Now, if she's sick, right? It says in sickness or in health, richer or poorer, right? If she's sick, if she's broke, if she gain weight, if she lose weight, if she's not feeling good, if she's sad, if she's happy, I have to be there to try to comfort her, educate her, heal her, and she does the same with me, right? 50-50. This is not the 1950s or the 1960s, 70s, or 80s. You know that song, I'm a 90s girl? Or you don't know that one? Okay. You know Beyonce's. All my single ladies, I throw your hands up, right? Times done changed. A lot of men still think we're back in the day. That's over. Most women now, by design or whatever, are making more money. I will say more women are committed to getting a higher education than a lot of men. A lot of men want to turn to the crime life, the drugs, the sales, this, that, and the other. And at first, in their dream. We're going to talk about that dream later. All right? The dream is interesting. But that dream don't always bring money to you. So some people say, nah, burn the bridges. Don't have a plan B. You better have a plan B. You better have an A and a B at least. All right. We could go down the list for residual income and all of that. C, D, E, F, G. No. You better have a plan B. And you better have an emergency fund. And I'm not saying that that's not going to get depleted because of emergencies, right? And that's why the first thing I said was you got to have faith and you got to keep the faith. I'm keeping it a buck with you. I can't, sugarcoat it because some people don't believe in God, spirituality, religion, karma, etc. Nirvana, namaste. You don't believe in nothing. Ma'at. You don't believe in nothing. So, but that don't mean it don't exist, right? Some people don't believe in it's like gravity, right? You don't see it, but jump out the window and see if you feel it, right? So I'm just saying there's universal laws and there's things that are seen and things that are unseen. And faith is the evidence of things that are unseen. And you have to still climb towards the finish line. Okay, so what is your why? So that was my why. That was my reason. I didn't just want somebody that I can, like in The Color Purple, say, make my mess on. That's easy to do, make your mess on somebody. I didn't want somebody I could control. See, some people have hangups, and that's why I said you need to check people's backgrounds, their psychological background. You got to ask the right questions. And normally, psychology deals with your upbringing. How did your upbringing affect you as a grown man or a grown woman? I know women that bring a lot of baggage into a relationship. And I know men that bring baggage into a relationship. I know men that have been cheated on. And because they were cheated on, now they don't trust the new woman. And the same with the women. So y'all got to have understanding, man. Y'all got to talk without arguing. You got to sit down like sophisticated people and talk. And if somebody's flying off the handle, they might not be the one for you. Because me, personally, I want peace. And that's another thing. When you come home from work, when you come home from school, you want peace. You want peace. That's the best place to escape the world. How are you going to be nice to your boss all day? Be nice to your clients all day. Be nice to your students all day. Be nice to your teachers all day. Be nice to the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the crossing guard, the security guard, the police. Every day. But then you get in the house and got an attitude. Like one of my friends' brother, Pastor Vic, said about some church ladies. He said, you a Christian and you mean it in a pit bull with hot sauce in the mouth. How you going to be mean to the one that you love, the one that you supposedly love? How you going to be mean to someone that gives their body to you? Don't you know that's sacred? Oh no, you forgot or you never knew. You know why? Because the older generation may have dropped the ball on you if you're in your 20s, in your teens, your 20s, maybe your 30s. Maybe you didn't know because once upon a time there was a thing called chivalry. There was a thing called open the door for a lady. There was a thing called sweet talk. There was a thing called pillow talk. There was a thing called as soon as I get home from work. And even back then when that song came out by Babyface, I was like, man, as soon as I get home from work, I'm going to do all this for her. Because I was into my alpha malehood thing. But I realize now, yeah, she tired. That's what I go. I come home and this is a unwritten rule that I wasn't even thinking about saying now. But I come home and I sniff out the environment. I look around and I say, and feel, I say, she's tired today. I'll do the dishes. Or have my son do the dishes. Or I'll cook. Or I'll just order out. Or does she want to go out? You see what I'm saying? Because that's all we got. You and me one-on-one against the world. Like Houdini would say. Peace to ecstasy. Rest in peace. You and me one-on-one against the world. So why would I turn on you? You're my rock. You're my ride or die. Why would I turn on her? Brother, stop turning on your women and stop hitting your women. She's a gift from God. Would you hit your mother? Would you turn on your mother? Well, if so, you need to be locked up for real or taken out. And I don't know what happened to Ray Ray and them. Ray Ray and Oof Mine and Rock Mine. You know what I'm saying? What happened to all of them? You know? Where's the brothers at? I don't understand how any woman gets hit and the brothers don't come around and handle the business. I don't get it. What's going on? But that's besides the point. I digressed. The point is, you should know each other very well before you get ready to get committed or further into the commitment, serious, or married. And so I realize, and you have to realize that some people ain't have that class. Look at that word class. Some people ain't had that class. That's two-sided, right? Or you can look at that two ways. They didn't have the class. They didn't learn manners, right? They didn't learn ethics. They didn't learn that a man didn't learn that a woman is to be protected, respected, and elevated. The woman didn't learn that this man ain't after you necessarily just for one thing, unless he is, but this man might want you for reasons of the heart and reasons of the mind. But the class is, do you both have class? I would hope so. Why? Because you have to be equally yoked. You have to be equally yoked. Now, some people think that means I got to be a Christian and you got to be a Christian. True, to a point. I got to be a Muslim. You got to be a Muslim. I got to be a Rasta. You got to be Rasta. I got to be Kemetic. You got to be Kemetic. I got to be... That's part of it. Because you could be politically minded, so and equally yoked in that way, politically. Have similar political views. You could have similar sociological views, right? So that every time you open your mouth, y'all don't clash and argue. Or even if you do argue, you understand that you argue in the best of manners, as the Quran says, right? Argue in the best of manners. You don't be flying off the handle over nothing. And some people are embarrassed, especially when they get around their family or their good friends. And now what you said to them yesterday, how you treated them, now they don't, you can't do that. But both of y'all got to understand that. You got to do what Mother Jefferson would do. Well, not Mother Jefferson, but Miss Jefferson would do. Louise and the Jeffersons. Louise would say, honey, can I talk to you in the kitchen for a minute? Right? Honey, can I talk to you in the kitchen for a minute? Don't air all your dirty laundry out in front of people. That's the problem now with America, with American culture. We are just showing everything. Yeah, you want to see my drawers? You want to see my J-string? You want to see my tattoo up under here? Like, what? Calm down. You want to see what my son did to that little girl? What? Hey, calm down. Take your stuff behind closed doors, work it out, come back as one common force. Ain't nobody else in the world more important than you and yours. If you and yours have made a commitment and you're both honorable people and you're honoring your commitment. See, I'm keeping it raw. I'm not sugarcoating. That's why I'm doing some stuttering and the whole bit, because I'm keeping it raw. It's not a script. I got a few notes, but I am not. I'm just coming from the dome, freestyling off of experience and experience. Okay? Now, on that level, talking about spirituality, we are inexperienced and we wanted to experience. So we came to this school called Planet Earth so that we could learn. There will be opposition in this school called Planet Earth. So do you want to handle the opposition by yourself, or do you have a partner that is equipped to handle it with you and help you through it? Through the bad times and the good times, you make it real good. The good times, make it real good. That means you plan that vacation, dinners, going out, having fun. Plan that the best you can, because it's always going to be a rut on the emotional roller coaster ride. Sometimes it just stops, right? You're like, what? Oh, it just stopped on the top or it stopped wherever. You're like this, right? Right? There's a rut. There's a stoppage of energy. When things stop, you got to say, you know what, things we've been going in circles and things have been a little crazy, honey. I think we need to go to a hotel. Like, Go down to South Street in Philly, get a cheesesteak or something, and spend a night or two. You know what I'm saying? Go to Baltimore down by the harbor, or you know what I'm saying? Go to Louisiana, go to Virginia Beach, go to the Poconos, Martha's Vineyard, Las Vegas, L.A. You know what I mean? Dallas, Houston, wherever. You know what I'm saying? Down to the park. We go to the woods. We need a break. We need to get off the grid. Stop answering these phones. Get off the phone for a minute. Because it's making me nervous. It's making me stressed. One of y'all got to see that. Or else y'all gonna be at each other's throats. Y'all gonna be like, rawr, blaming each other. No, the society is stressful and it's me and you one on one against the world. So y'all got to make sure that y'all know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And I'm not talking about breaking up. The only reason you should break up is if you can't have a sit down and keep it real, then y'all need to break up. I mean, not one time, but y'all got to talk. If y'all can't talk without somebody flying off the handle, then forget it. Okay? But you have to talk. Now, this is the technique that I learned from a good, close friend of my family, an elder who is a doctor, chiropractor. I'll say Dr. J for those who know her. Not going to give out her whole government. All right? But my wife and I were having some issues one time, and she thought it was me, and I thought it was her. She thought it was me, and I thought it was her. When we first got together, there was love, infatuation, happiness, relations, good things going on, partying, good time, meeting new friends and family, and all of that, right? But at some point, it seemed like things started going wrong. We started arguing and fighting. And my wife and I were introduced to a very great technique that clarifies things with the relationship and with each other and helps you to renew from time to time. So I wanted to share it with you. My name is Kamal Imani, author of the book, Let's Bring Back the Butterflies. Now, why it's not always your partner's fault. Why it's not always your partner's fault. Consider this. Watch this and see what happens. Jamal, what are some of your problems from your perspective? Nagging me about bills, my being overweight, sleeping too much social media, and she's spending too much money on shopping, not giving me personal space. She's more concerned about the children, etc., etc., etc. Pamela, what are some of your problems from your perspective? He's not spending time with me like he used to. He's not holding his weight financially. He criticizes my weight. He won't get off his phone. I want to go on a vacay. So, are the problems the both of you, or are the problems the issues below that were stated by Jamal and Pamela? Jamal's perceived problems really break down to money and health and attention. Pamela's perceived problems, money, health, and stress. Neither one of you are the problem. The problems are the issues above that can be solved with respectful communication and positive action. Stop confusing the problems which can be solved in time with your partner in whom you once had butterflies for. Do you remember the time when you fell in love? A couple that fails to plan plans to fail. Periodically, take time to talk things over. Give yourselves a relationship checkup. Start chipping away at newly set or reset goals. Be patient with each other. Renew those butterflies and keep the faith in yourselves. Renew your love. Be friends again. Say to yourself, say to each other, let's bring back the butterflies. Right? And so we sat down and she said, okay, she got a piece of paper, right? And y'all should do this. She drew a big circle and she said, so what's the issues? Sometimes you don't pay the electric bill on time. I said, okay, write that down. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's time for the oil change. And I'm just making this. I don't remember all the issues. You know, but she used to cook before we got married. Now she don't cook, right? Or whatever, right? Well, he don't go shopping, right? But she's writing all this stuff down in a circle, right? Bills and stuff like that, you know. And then she said, now look in the circle. Do you see yourself in the circle? No. Do you see yourself in the circle? No. You're not the problem. Y'all don't have a problem with each other. These are the problems in the circle. These are the issues that you have to deal with. So divorce yourself or separate yourself from the issues. Y'all still love each other, but y'all now have some problems that you didn't have when y'all were just dating or courting, right? Now y'all got some stuff you didn't have a manual for. Who's going to do what? Who's going to handle the money? Who's going to do that? Who's going to take the kid to the doctor? Who's going to... Y'all, this is all new. So slow down, be humble, spiritual, patient, keep the faith, love each other, go out on that vacay, go out to dinner, go out dancing, remind each other that you love each other, still send some flowers and some candy, some jewelry if you have it, if you have the money for it, right? Cook for her or him. If you don't have the money to go out, cook, like some candles, some wine, whatever. All right, fellas, how to keep the home fires burning. 101. All right. You gotta keep her on her toes. You gotta surprise her. Not just a ring or a rose. You gotta give her an appetizer. All right? Now, this is what I did today. I worked out, so I'm a little sweaty. This friend's doing a hip hop ass and all that. All right. Look at this yummy, delicious cake. Now, you ain't gonna get no 3 layer and all of that. I come from the hood. I was born in Harlem, here in the Bronx. That don't mean you can't make a nice cake, but I'm bougetto, half bougie and half ghetto. So she gonna get a bougetto cake. But my mama always says it's the thought that counts. Now, you gotta put a little bit more icing on it. Kamal's world famous, yummy, delicious vanilla cake. We just had a lot of chocolate, lady. I have a chocolate lady. We had a lot of chocolate lately. And I get the chance to do this. This is how we do it. When we was little kids, you had to have sprinkles. Sprinkles on ice cream. And don't forget, sprinkles on the cake. And she's going to be so happy with her hubby. Now, how could 25 years and 28 dating, if you include that, how could 25 years go by so quickly and somebody still be so happy? Because I'm full of surprises. So, let's bring back the butterflies. All right? All right. Keep the home fires burning. I might put a candle in it to start with. That's as pretty as it's going to get. See you later. Happy relationship. Hey, we got to keep this alive, right? This is all communicating. Now, most of us have egos, rightly so, is to protect you, right? So why would I talk to you in a way that I don't want you to talk to me? So you can't be rolling up on your lover with an attitude, right? Because you don't want your lover to roll up on you with attitude. Because you're going to be like, Jigga, what? Who you talking to like that? Right? And all the street going to come out. You don't know, say, I don't know. But yeah, so communication is so essential. I'm going to digress a minute. It's like in business, marketing is the elephant in the room that a lot of people don't see. So they set up a business, right? And they don't sufficiently market it, or a party or an event, right? And don't sufficiently market it. And when it goes wrong, people start pointing fingers. But you didn't market it. You could have did more. So before you quit your relationship, is there anything else that I could do? Because what happens is, thank God 2020 is behind us, but hindsight is 2020. So what happens is people start looking back. People start saying, she was a good woman. That's the best woman I ever had. I done messed up, right? He was a good man. Damn, I messed up. I still kind of feel him. But when you start doing that, what you don't see and remember are the things that irked you, and the things that got on your nerves, and the things you couldn't stand, and the things you might have hated. So you need to be clear in the moment of what you're dealing with. And can that change? Will that change? Will you change that? Will I change? Because I've heard it said, that's just me. I ain't going to change that. That's just me. I don't go for that one. If I'm telling you to stop doing that around me because it's irritating me, and you say I ain't going to change it, that's just me. You're not even going to try to work on it and give me some consideration, then I got to go. That's like vice versa. Everything I'm saying is for male and for female, for both partners, however you want to look at it, on this emotional roller coaster ride. Communication is key. You got to draw the line. You say, don't do this, don't do that, and don't do that. These are the things I don't tolerate. Else I'm done. Another thing, a lot of women do especially, you hold stuff in. You don't want to say it at the time because you don't want to spoil the moment. You don't want to spoil the day. You don't want him to start yelling and screaming. You don't want him to leave. You don't want him to walk out. Right? But you're holding stuff in. It's making you sick, sometimes literally sick. You're holding stuff in, and then you have an argument. And what happens? You bringing up stuff from 2 months ago, a month ago, 2 weeks ago, and brother man thought it was over. He thought everything was hunky dory, but that's a whole nother story. He's like, what? I thought me and you was rice and beans. You know what I'm saying? Abutuela, Yaros, salsa merengue. Like, what's the problem? Did he think you loca? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What is going on? Don't comprende. You know what I'm saying? All of this communication is about what? Comprende. It's about we have an understanding. Remember that old song? You and I have an understanding. We have an understanding. The gods say love is a high elevation of understanding. One must go through a cipher of hell to come out right. Now, I heard people say you should never have to go through anything to come out right. Well, reality says that there's a roller coaster. There's ebbs and flows in life, ups and downs. We all know that. So you're going to have to go through something. Can y'all keep the faith and hold on together? Are you equally yoked or not? Keeping it a buck. There's a famous preacher that said, you shouldn't say you're happily married. Nobody's happily married for 20 years or 25 years. Well, if you ain't happily married for 25 years, that's your fault. You in something for 25 years and you're not happy? And first of all, you got to be happy with yourself. And she has to be happy with herself. He has to be happy with his self. Now, the two happy selves need to come together. You're both happy and you're both intelligent, right? So what's the problem? You should be able to fix anything. For every problem, the solution already exists. So what's the problem? Since you're so intelligent, right? Since you're so spiritual, since you're so religious, what's the problem? And some people hide in the scriptures instead of coming out, applying the scriptures to your relationship. And here's something nobody wants to hear that's in the scriptures. Self-examination. Nobody wants to look. Everybody wants to point the finger that way. Nobody wants to point the finger this way. Nobody wants to hear self-examination. So if you haven't thoroughly examined yourself and found the thief that is killing your joy and stopping your success, and the other person hasn't done it, you're going to be a mess. Life's going to be a guess. We shall overcome someday. Reverend Ike said there's no someday. I heard a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but never a someday. We got to get it right today. We got to get it right now. I don't feel like talking about it right now. We got to talk about it right now. Because we keep going around in circles. Got me going in circles. Round and round we go. Stop the roller coaster for a moment and let's talk. And guess what, y'all? I'm not saying just in the beginning. Just like I said, when you're getting into a rut, you got to plan that vacation. Whenever something don't feel right, y'all got to talk. Whenever he or she don't look right, y'all got to talk. Whenever the timing ain't right, what you coming in that late for? You got to talk. Coming drunk. Coming smoking skunk. Got to talk. 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 Just like we as individuals talk to ourselves. Now it's two individuals, right? Y'all got to talk. Y'all can't be holding nothing in. Are you kidding me? That's a bomb. You're building a bomb. You're holding in gases, solids, liquids, and gases, and all kinds of different chemicals are mixing around, emotions mixing around, and one day, tick, boom. Why? Talk. But the key is talk sweet. I don't gotta talk sweet. I've been okay, bye. I'm looking at the front door. Look, sweet. No man want no trash talking chick. No chick want no trash talking man. Y'all gotta bring the class back. The chivalry. Practice it at home. Practice it with your lovey-dovey. Curtis Blow said, save the love for number one, y'all. For the one that you got to come home to. See, y'all got to bring a little old school back in your life. Old school hip-hop, old school R&B, blues, and jazz. He said, when a man loves a woman, yo, we loved. Love was the end thing. Love is good. That's what this whole life is about, in case you didn't know. It's about love. At the end of the day, it's about love. Jesus is love. Allah is love. It's about love. Your grandma that you loved, why? Because she was full of love. Your godmother was full of love. Your auntie was full of love. Your grandpa was full of love. Why don't you be full of love for somebody? Unconditional love. Unconditional love. Unconditional. What does unconditional mean? It means selfless giving. Not when you say, I gave you this, I did all of this for you, what you do for me, and y'all weighing it. I do everything around here, you don't. Bye-bye. Unconditional love. You do it because you need to do it. You do it because you want to do it. You do it because you love to do it. Now, you need some help? Ask. I shouldn't have to ask. You need to ask because this other person has their mind on something else. And just because you decided to do this, to do that, to clean, to cook, to save money, to do whatever, doesn't mean that this other person is thinking the same thing. So you have to communicate in a nice manner. Okay? When the communication breaks down, you know the party's over, right? I don't care if it's today, next year, or in 10 years. When the communication breaks down, the party is over. Yeah, that was a lot. I'm reviewing now. You gotta be equally yoked. Spiritually, equally yoked. Religiously, equally yoked. Politically, equally yoked. Educationally and financially, equally yoked. Meaning you have the same mindset about these things. And if your mindset is different and you knew you were going into a relationship with a different mindset, you should have this in common. And it should be stated, and you've heard it before, we should agree to disagree. We should agree to disagree. Now, some people go to church every week, some the mosque, the synagogue, the temple, right? If you do or if you don't, what I'm suggesting is that there should be a day or part of a day, a couple hours during that week that y'all come together as a family, old school, like we used to do at the table. And if you don't want to go to the kitchen table, dining room table, sit in the living room, but talk. Make sure everything's cool before y'all move forward. You can't just let stuff fester and conceal things and think everything's going to be all right. It's not going to work that way. Okay? Listening is half of communication. Not just hearing, you watching the game, she talking. yeah. And fellas, seriously. Fellas, when a woman is talking about children or her children, listen. When a woman is talking about the money and the bills, listen. When a woman is talking about the house being clean, listen. Matter of fact, listen to everything they say. Listen. Because they're serious about it. Now, females, I'm sorry. The problem with us brothers is that we don't listen. No, and this is what I mean by that. We hear you, but we don't realize how serious it is to you until you blow up. So this is why, to circumvent that, I'm trying to tell brothers, try to give you the shortcut. If she don't like the toilet seat up, listen. Listen, active listening, meaning put the toilet seat down. If she don't like your socks and drawers on the floor, pick them up, wash them, or put them in the hamper. If she don't like your hairs in the bathroom, rinse the bathtub when you finish. If she don't like the garbage in the recycling, take it out. If she don't like you looking at other women, when she's right there, don't break your neck, just restrain from looking at it. Restrain. Because she sees the chick before you do anyway. So she sets you right up. Even when I'm driving, chick be 2 lights down with a red dress. My wife be like, that's a pretty dress. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. I need permission. I'm like, oh, really? She's right over there. You see her. Oh, okay. Yes, that's pretty. Mm-hmm. But don't let me look first, because she's at the periphery going. Yeah, he gonna look at her. I know it. They got the periphery game tight. Yeah. And then their friends and them will tell you about yourself too. They tell her about yourself, rather. So, you gotta have that self-discipline if you want to keep her. And not just because she's cheaper, it's cheaper to keep her. No, 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 no. Because that's your gift from God, right? That's what you always wanted. And now you got it. And now things done change and you might be seeing some other pieces walking around and now you want to be a player again. And that's a problem in our relationships, but it's a problem with our culture. We want to be pimps and players and hoes, and it's getting out of hand. And not just because Cardi B said WAP. I still respect Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion because they're expressing their individuality, and they probably would have never went there if brothers wasn't talking about bees, bitches, hoes, right? If they wasn't talking about being a player and how many chicks they got and how they go in and out of chicks all day and all night and all of that, smashing and all of that. So the chicks is like, well, I might as well do it too. Because I'm going to tell you, most women are dedicated. Most women are committed. And you don't have to tell her to submit. Most women will serve you. I don't even want to say submit. They'll serve you and you serve them with unconditional service. We're supposed to be the number one client service professionals to each other. Not nobody else out there. Nobody should get better treatment than you and your partner. Got it? Communication. So y'all supposed to be friends. And that's the whole icing on the cake to communication. Friends talk. Friends talk about everything. Friends talk about anything. What's wrong? What's going on? What's happening? Ah, something going on. What's wrong? What you thinking? What's happening? That's about my, you're like a secret spy. Like, what are you thinking of? Oh, you made that face. But we, 25 years of marriage. We both. I'm like, aha, you sleepy. I'm not sleepy. You sleepy. You cranky. I'm not sleepy. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's fun. And you got to laugh at everything. That'll be the triple icing on the cake with strawberries on top, cherries on top, and the whipped cream, and Right. So, but remember, put a little old school in it. All right. And men, I know we so hardcore, so alpha male, and we so hard, and we hustle, and all of that. But look, man, that's your sister, you her brother. That's your wife, you're her husband. That's your mother, you the father. Poppy, mommy, right? Hey, Poppy, hey, mommy, hey, daddy, hey, mommy. People look at that in a negative way too, but I'm just saying, God's gift. Uplift God's gift. Don't demean God's gift. One day you're going to look back at your life and you're going to look at the decisions that you made. You want to be righteous or you want to be a knucklehead? See, when they took prayer out of schools and they took away the 10 Commandments, there was no time to stop and pause and think and have a guideline, have a guide of what to do, how far to go. Now people are just going crazy. There's no limits. You're going out of the limits of righteousness. Oh, I could do whatever I want. Well, again, just like gravity, right? There's a cliff there. And if the sign says, don't go beyond this point, and you go beyond the point, you're going to fall off the cliff. So that's why the laws of God are there. Don't go beyond this point. You go ahead, there's snakes there. But you want to do your own thing. Like nobody made you. Nobody created you. You just popped up and you're doing your own thing. A robot ain't even doing their own thing, but you somebody's robot. I don't know who, the society's robot. I don't know. All right. Did I communicate enough on communication? Just make sure that it's transparent and that it's consistent, that you stay friends. The moment you see you're not staying friends, y'all got to talk. Y'all don't always got to be smiling in each other's face. People got bad days. And sometimes we see somebody's having a bad day, back up, lay off, right? But that's your friend. God gave you a friend. God gave you a lover. God gave you a helper in your struggle on this school called Earth, where we come to develop our spirituality to the next level, where we come to build our character, where we come to become better people, where we come to give back, where we come to leave a legacy, a spiritual legacy, a mental legacy, a physical legacy, a financial legacy to our future. That means we're responsible people. Don't be irresponsible and make your mess on people. Communicate. Communicate. So that's it for communication for now. Y'all leave any comments or questions and all of that. And, let me know and we'll deal with that. All right? All right.